Think of my new
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Hi, everybody. This is AVP, also known as Alicia, and I'm joined by Jess, my good friend. And so it's a kind of slow day around here. So I said, you know what? Let me just do some impromptu gaming. It's probably gonna be a lot of Jackbox, maybe even What the Dub. Did you ever play that game before, Jess? What the Dub?
no, I can't say I have. Is
Okay,
it
so
on
basically,
Steam?
so it's like a little scene that they show like a movie clip and stuff like that, and then they basically cut out part of the audio, and you have to fill in the audio on what you think they're gonna say to fill it in.
Oh, sounds like an impromptu game.
Kind of like, yeah. But it's wild and it's crazy.
Oh, the fill in the blank, or maybe a fill in the blank.
Kind of like, yeah, but it's with film clips from actual movies and I think TV shows and stuff like that. I've never actually recognized any of these movie clips or anything that they show it from, but yeah, it gets pretty crazy.
Really? This
hmm
I gotta see.
Alrighty, I
Well,
will introduce.
I've got a shit ton of Risk. If you got Steam and you got Risk, I got plenty to share if you ever want to play. Not
Well, you
right
can.
now. I'm a little slightly on the chill side right now, but
That's fine. You can always do it on your phone if you need to do it on your phone and stuff like that. Just make sure you have a separate tab open.
yeah. But no, what's really great is since I saw my new doctor and I got put on my new medications and I started taking. So I don't know if you saw. I said I am type 2 diabetic now,
Right.
which the thing is, I'm not surprised about that. The two things, my high blood pressure and my type
Right.
2 diabetes, I was always on the border of those, even when
Right.
I was in my best shape. So it was like, once they finally got, I was like, well, I guess my 40s decided to cash in some checks.
Yeah, I know what you're saying because I have a family history of it and stuff, and I had to watch it very much myself. Heart problems and diabetes both, so I got the double whammy of the genetic disorders.
Hey, those aren't the ones I'm afraid of.
Okay.
There's one family issue we have in my family that's hereditary. And God, it is the one I am terrified of the most.
Right.
Alzheimer's.
Ah, yes. Well, I think if you keep your mind intact, basically like doing like puzzles, reading, and doing the things that you do, that will keep it from being more, what's the more severe, you might say, with the symptoms I've been told.
I don't know. I don't know the exact scientific study. All I know is it took my grandmother, it took my grandma, and I'm not trying to put this on a downer. I'm
Right,
saying,
of course.
my great uncle, her baby brother, he was kind of, the last of well, my family per se. I still have my mom and think I still have my dad. I don't know if he's still alive, that whole thing. But
Right.
the whole thing is that side of the family is the ones I really, grew up with.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was kind of the end of it. So,
Right. Alrighty.
Yeah,
Well,
that was a hard pill to swallow.
I
It's
can
like,
imagine. Alrighty. Well, I will introduce you to What's
yeah.
What's Up. I think you're
So,
gonna like this game.
you ready? So you ready to get to your husband?
I am. I'm excited to see him in 20 days from now.
So where's your mom going?
She's staying put for the time being.
Oh, the alternative location in Tennessee didn't work out,
So
or
yeah, right now we're trying to find housing, and right now it's not nothing's coming up right now because they want too much income requirements, or it's not in a good location, or the price is something where we think.
uh, I was trying to actually buy a Jeep, just a
Mhm.
used Jeep, just for
Right.
fun. And I got told the APR right now is 8%. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
It's crazy the way they are with the finances.
The last time I paid for a vehicle, what my APR was? 3.8. You know what the APR of my house is? 2.9.
Right.
Oh my god. I'm like, it's just like, maybe I could afford a new vehicle if the new Jeep, if it was that way, but
Right. But a
there
used
ain't
one,
no way I
yeah,
can afford there ain't no way I can afford what those things cost at
it's ridiculous the
8%.
way they
Yeah,
do
it's
stuff.
crazy.
It
So
is.
what she's
Housing
giving
and
me
cars is like, ugh. Unless you have like a champagne pocketbook, which we don't. We all have beer pocketbooks mostly, most of us. And yeah, we can't afford that.
so do you have a vehicle, Alicia?
I do not. So
Does
my
Jack?
husband will be getting it hopefully soon after we get settled, maybe a couple months. I don't know, maybe next year. He wants to get a new vehicle because what he has right now, I think he says it's like 10, 12 years of old. So it's time to get a new one. In his book, that is not new, 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 but a newer model, you might say.
So
Not,
you're gonna have to really learn the new public transportation and all
yes.
that. I mean, well, how long's it been since you've been outside of Maryland? I mean, long term.
So I spent about a couple weeks outside of Maryland when I was there for my aunt's funeral in 2020.
Okay.
And I did spend that 1 week when I spent it with my husband. We were still dating each other. So, but I will have to get reacquainted, basically learning the whole ins and outs of it once I'm out there in the San Diego area, basically.
Do you want to hear something interesting, dynamic between me and Rachel?
Hmm.
Rachel lived in the same house her whole life until she joined the military.
Okay.
Yes, you could argue that yes, she left the house when she went to college for those 4 years, but
Right.
she always went back and it was in the same city. So,
So that, yeah, that's not quite, yeah, I get it when you're saying, well,
yeah, it was in the
completely
same
out of the
city.
state, out of the county, whatever.
I've never lived in one house for more than 5 years in my entire life.
Okay. So I grew up in my childhood home until I was 24. And then we moved out and then we moved here. So I've been here since 2012. So I've been here almost 11 years.
Yeah, I have to live here. I've lived here now. We're getting on our 3rd year. I gotta
Okay.
live here 6 years, and this will be the first not state. Now, here's the thing. I thought about this. I was like, I have to have 8 years consecutively in one
Hmm.
place, one state, to say I've lived in that state that long. I have to also say that for living in the same city consecutively.
Right.
And to say I've lived the longest in one house, I got to get to 6 years because
Right.
when I lived in my home, I don't even have a count of the homes I've lived in. When I say homes,
Right.
trailer park, apartments, take your pick.
Exactly.
I've lost count. I've got places that aren't even there. I've lived in places that aren't even there anymore.
Right. They don't exist. And you're just saying, "Oh, it was there, but I can't tell you it's there now because they've changed the layout." So I get it.
Actually, here's a funny story. I actually had to do that when I was doing my top secret background investigation
Okay.
again. Yeah,
Mhm.
it was so funny. It was like you had to mention every place you lived. You had to jot it all down. You had to do all this.
Right.
And I had this place that I had lived, but I couldn't remember the exact address.
Okay.
I'd only lived there a short time. So I
Gotcha.
drive up there and it's on base housing, and I'm like, oh, yeah, no problem. The place is gone.
They
The
tore it down or
mailbox
something.
is gone. I have no
Right.
idea the address. Do you know how?
Right.
Here's the funny thing. I logged in to our vacation website, which is called LeaveWeb,
Okay.
and I started looking at some stuff, and I found a time I went on leave from that address, and I was finally able to put that address in.
The person that doesn't exist anymore or something. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Why didn't I think of just going to the base housing office and say, "Hey, I lived in this place. Here's where it was. It's not there anymore. Figure it out." But I
Right.
was I was like, I didn't think about that then. But yeah, I was kind of
Yeah,
like,
you're probably thinking, "I didn't lose my mind, but I know there was something here at one point."
what?
So I know what you're saying because there's a house where literally it was down the street from my childhood home that I used to go past every single day. I literally just literally recently went by there, and I hadn't been there since 2012, basically, when I was living near my house. I went by there. There's nothing there. The mailbox is gone. There's just an empty lot. So I'm like,
Oh, so I had another interesting thing in base housing in Florida
mm-hmm.
when Rich and I were in Florida.
Right.
Somebody had put a satellite on the house. Now,
Okay.
okay, now that seemed unusual to me because normally base housing doesn't allow that thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, they they showed me the house, everything. I was like, okay, we took the house. Rachel was 9 months pregnant with Charlene.
Okay.
So yeah, it's kind of like we got to get a place. We got to get it now. We got to get it on base because we saw how traffic
Mm-hmm.
was. And about a year, about 6 months later, base housing comes over and says, yeah, you got to take that off. I'm like, the satellite?
Right.
They're like, yeah, you have to take that off. I'm like, but it was there when I got here. You showed me
Right.
the house. And they're
Mm-hmm.
like, and here's the thing. Here's where it gets really interesting. They're like, yeah, but you got to take it down. I'm like, you're going to demolish all of this housing in less than a year, and we're all moving to other housing, and you're going to come out here and bitch at me to take that down now.
Wow.
And yes. So, yes, I had to take a satellite down on a house that was getting demolished.
That's crazy. That's insane.
You can ask Rachel, it's 100% true.
I believe you.
I'm just saying, anything I tell you, ask Rachel, she'll confirm it.
Right. Alrighty.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I'm gonna get the game started, and that way you
Yeah,
can see how to play.
sorry, I'm
No, that's fine. That's
I
fine.
miss talking to you.
That's totally fine. Alrighty. So you're gonna get a separate tab either on your computer or on your phone, and you're gonna put in
Is this
playwtd.com,
on Steam?
and then you put in the code basically that's on there, the
Well,
XPWB.
yeah, I know, but this is on Steam, right?
Yes, this is on Steam. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got to fight. Well, that's what I was asking because that means I got to fire up Steam real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Give me just a second. Familiar with
Yep.
this.
It's called What the Dub.
I'm gonna have to go over here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so I'm on Steam. You're gonna have to maybe walk me through this. How does
Sure.
that invite come in?
So you're going to type in basically play whiskey, that is whiskey, tango, delta.
In the search?
Basically you're opening a separate tab. So if you're looking on Steam, it's called What the Dub.
Okay. What the dove?
DUB.
Oh, DUV.
Yes. Delta Uniform Bravo.
Oh, Delta Form Unibur.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on? Am I getting shit? Oh, that was a library.
Okay.
Oh, am I gonna have to download this?
No, and basically, so if you have a separate tab on your computer, you can open a separate tab, basically.
Okay. Hold on a second.
Mm-hmm.
Let me minimize that. All right. Got a tab open. What do you need me to put in? Play.
Play, and then the letters whiskey, tango, delta.com.
Whiskey Tango Delta.com. That's
Mm-hmm.
it.
And yeah, play, and then WTD.com. And then when you get in there, you come up with a username that you want to use.
Room code
XP, X-ray, Papa, Whiskey,
Papa
Bravo.
Whiskey Bravo.
Yep.
Here we go.
Alrighty.
Welcome to What the Dub. The rules are simple. Each round a video will play with missing dialogue. Each player enters their wittiest replacement dub. Players watch the dubs and vote on the best one. The player with the highest score at the end of the game wins. It's just that easy.
So since there's less than 3 players, there won't be any voting on this. So yeah.
Another round of What the Dub is coming at you.
You've got a method that's normally used by professionals. Why don't you tell us about that? You've got a method that's normally used by professionals. Why don't you tell us about that?
Time to let your ambitions soar. Enter your dub.
You've got a method that's normally used by professionals. Why don't you tell us about that? It drills harder.
Clever.
You've got a method that's normally used by professionals. Why don't you tell us about that? You go righty-tighty and lefty-loose. Have fun, kids.
I'm going to give that one to you.
Thank you.
I have no idea what they just said.
I have no idea. Let me see.
I was right pleasantly surprised.
What do you mean?
Time to shake the world, kid. Enter your dub.
I'm just being a dick now.
I was right pleasantly surprised.
What do you mean? Your lipstick stayed on.
Oh, clever.
I was right pleasantly surprised.
What do you mean? Didn't you know I'm a knockoff Indiana Jones who thinks he's Han Solo?
Oh, come on. Mine was better.
Yours was better.
Enter your dub.
Remember the Alamo kids and avoid drinking the tap water. Fuck, 2 days till retirement.
That's a good one.
I think we should call that a tie.
Yes, that was.
Why did you kill Tara and the doctor? Why did you kill Tara and the doctor? Show him you're not just a pretty face. Enter your dub. Why did you kill Tara and the doctor?
Because they were getting too close to the truth, and we can't leave loose ends now, can we?
Why did you kill Tara and the doctor?
I felt she was rude and trying to get down.
Oh,
Round 5.
What's the matter? What's the matter?
Give it your best shot and enter your dub.
This is too much fun.
What's the matter?
I had a bad dream they changed their mind and renewed all the toxic track.
What's the matter?
I was dreaming about sex and you fucked it up.
oh,
So little time.
that's a tie, I would say.
But first I want to say a few words especially to you young people. But first I want to say a few words especially to you young people.
No time to waste. Enter your dub now.
first, I want to say a few words, especially to you young people. Stay off the social media platforms until you are at least 30. Okay, thanks. Bye and have fun. But first, I want to say a few words, especially to you young people. On second thought, I am Gen X. Figure it the fuck out on your own.
Quiet on set. Another round is coming up.
My only sister has disappeared. The local police seem utterly unable to find her. My only sister has disappeared. The local police seem utterly unable to find her.
What are you waiting for? Enter your dub.
Oh, this isn't a good one. Not as good as that one.
The local police seem utterly unable to find her.
Well, it has been about 12 hours since you last saw her. She is dead.
No.
She disappeared. The local police seem utterly unable to find her.
Did it ever occur to you it's because she doesn't exist?
How are you putting the music in there?
So there's a thing that says add SFX. It allows you to, and you can go through that.
Show him you're not just a pretty face.
Because you can.
Enter your dub.
So on the window it says add SFX. It allows you to enter in stuff.
Where do you want to kill you? Not now, bitch. I am in the middle of a fucking deal. Sorry, bro. You know bitches. Where do you want to kill you? I didn't think to call me Shirley anymore because I'm actually Darth Vader.
Finish him. Round 9.
My friends call me Hilda.
Thanks. Mine called me...
My friends call me Hilda.
Thanks. Mine called me...
No time to waste. Enter your dub now.
Oh, this is terrible.
Mine called me... My Indian name is Hard Staff.
My friends call me Hilda.
Thanks. Mine called me... Mr. Snookums, but they call me Sue for short.
Grab your martini glass. Next up is the final round. I'm just an average American. Now, friends, I'm just an average American. Give it your best shot and enter your dub. Now, friends, I'm just an average American.
Who thinks he's a cross between Lincoln and Washington with a little bit of Jefferson? Did I mention I'm crazy?
Now, friends, I'm just an average American.
I am just a normal white trash, redneck, who loves his Bible and his porn. God bless America.
Fair enough. Divorce man. Oh my god. Okay.
Craig,
So
what? Craig?
the egg scene.
Craig the Egg
Oh my
Senior?
god, that is crazy.
I'm a second, damn it.
Oh,
That
that was
was fun. I've never heard of that game before, but I want to play that again.
okay. We can do that again.
No, I just think that's fun. It reminds me of, doing those old, like Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yes.
And where it was like they would have those Hercules marathons, where those Italian Hercules marathons would hear people like, "Tell me, Hercules, is this a toupee?" It's like, you just want to make fun of this shit.
Exactly, because it's so cheesy.
I
Exactly.
mean, I think in the 90s and early 2000s, that was not uncommon for us to make fun of that trope
That's
on TV
true.
shows.
That's true. Because we used to do that all the time. Because I would see something and I'd be acting silly about it. I mean,
Yeah, but we used to see TV shows do the same thing. They would emulate what is like I've seen TV shows that would do that thing where they would ad lib, bad shows, whatever. And it's just like,
oh, I remember that they did that on Whose Line Is It Anyway? That they would act out.
yes, there you go. Yeah.
That was such a fun TV show, especially with Drew Carey and all of the. Oh my god, that was such a fun show. Now it's not as funny, but oh my god, it was
No,
so fun.
I haven't watched Whose Line Is It. I didn't even know it was still on the air.
They've
fact that
changed the
Saturday
host. They've changed the host, but it's not the same. So the only two people that I know that are still on there are the guy Ryan, the one that was really, really tall, and Colin Mockery.
I remember watching the first year the ball dropped without Casey Kasem.
Mm-hmm.
Or not Casey Kasem, sorry, Dick Clark. Let me correct myself.
Yes.
And I remember seeing, Ryan Seacrest, and I was like, I've never watched the ball drop again.
That's
It has
true.
nothing to do with Ryan Seacrest.
Right. It was just something special about Dick Clark. I get it.
Yeah, it was like my whole life. That was, Dick Clark was always the guy ringing in the news.
Right. Exactly.
So it's kind of like watching somebody. It's like I'm not mad at Drew Carey for taking over The Price is
Sure.
Right, but I can't watch it because to me, The Price is Right as Bob Barker. Same with
True.
Jeopardy. Same with Jeopardy.
Exactly.
Jeopardy is like, I've made this comment on Twitter. I said, one day we're gonna say something like, I'll take this for 100 Alex, and people are going to be like, who is Alex?
Right, exactly, because you're used to saying it so many times because it was in so many pop culture references. It was in Family Guy, it was in so many things.
Well, you also got, Wheel of Fortune.
Yes, now Pat Sajak stepping
Pat
down.
Sajak's about to leave. Remember, they actually had kind of a day show, Wheel of Fortune, less money, different
Right.
hosts, different card turner. Yes,
That's true, they
folks.
did, because she used to literally have to turn the letters by hand instead of just tapping it.
Well, I think that's fair why they did that. I mean,
I
I
can see
understand the
that.
original reason they did it, but come on, Vanna White became such an icon. I mean, Vanna White is like Pat Sajak when it comes to that. It was like if they just did it themselves, they could just now turn those on themselves. But then everybody would be like, where the fuck is Vanna White?
That's true, because it doesn't, because when you don't see her there, which has been, like, maybe at the most, maybe 5 times when I've turned in and she hasn't been on there, it's so weird not seeing her there. It's so weird. Because
Yeah,
you're like, "Where's
exactly.
Vanna?"
So, well, I mean, it's like, those game shows we watch, these long-term ones that are still going. I'm glad they're going. I hope they continue to go, and I hope the next,
Right.
I hope Drew Carey is loved doing The Price is Right. But for me, and I know there was a guy before Bob Barker. I know there was a Price is Right before
Right, of
him,
course.
but that was My Price is Right. That was
Sure,
my
like me and my mom
Jeopardy.
with, Family Feud, it's always been Richard Dawson, always been Richard Dawson, even though they've had multiple hosts over the years, but it's always gonna be Richard Dawson.
And how many things oh yeah, Family Feud, that was the thing. Every time you got a different host, I'm like, it loses something there.
Because there was because okay, my mom refers to him as the kissing bandit because he always was kissing the women, always.
Oh
But the
yeah, I remember that.
but the thing is, the way the Family Feud is now, I mean, I'm not saying anything disrespect to Steve Harvey because of who he is, but the way they ask these questions is like, where did that come from? That's no, like
Well,
that's inappropriate.
the thing, they called him the kissy man, but remember, people say, well, that's inappropriate. Well, the women didn't seem to think so
You
because
never
at
saw a
the
woman turn
time,
away from him. They never turned away from him because that's how he got
because
involved with his wife.
that was part of the culture. Okay, I'll give you a perfect example. Do you know
Mhm.
I've had people that when I've hugged, I patted them on the back and they're like, is
Right.
something wrong? And I'm like, no. Well, in their culture, patting someone on the back is an offense. But in the culture I grew up in,
Mhm.
hugging someone is one thing. Patting them on the back makes you special to them.
Right,
That's how
exactly.
my family, we pat each other in the back. Sometimes we do it a little harder than others, it's always
Right, of
kind of fun.
course.
But that was the first time I'd ever heard anyone say to me, is everything okay? I'm like, what's going on? I mean, it changed the whole mood because of
Right.
that one cultural difference. And
Mhm.
we got over it. I said,
Right.
okay, I get it. I said, I'll just give you a hug next time. I mean, I was willing to, restrain myself for that
Mhm.
for the sake of that person.
Of course.
Because while what I did was comfortable, they found it offensive. And I'm like,
Right, because their
okay,
culture's not used to that. Mhm.
yeah, and I can totally respect that. Just
Exactly.
like just like I tell people, like my kids all know, do not be over my shoulder.
Right.
Yeah. That is like, I don't care who you are, if you're over my shoulder, oh my god. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
It drives me nuts.
And I can
But it's
understand that.
but it's a cultural thing because I'm always like, I get paranoid, and it's part of my upbringing. It's
Right, and
just
I think part of
one
it
of
is your
those things.
military too, I think as well too, because they always tell you watch your back or watch your whatever.
Well, yeah, I mean, also there's a reason why I don't sit next to windows or next to doors.
Of course.
Well, what it's called is it's a really simple thing. It's called situational awareness.
Mhm.
You
Right,
know,
of
it,
course.
it, it sounds it's really very simple. I mean, those spy movies like where they say the person notices all the exits and they know
Right.
this, they know that. And I'm
Mhm.
like, yeah, but anybody could assess the situations they're doing if you just looked and you were aware of your surroundings. You would be able to do basically, they make it seem like it's a fucking superpower, and it's not. It
Right.
just takes you training, it just takes training your mind to think about those things.
Right, to
There's
be
a
aware of your
reason why
surroundings, exactly.
if and when I go to the movie theater, I always sit in the top center if possible. That's like right where the projector is.
Right, exactly.
I always stay up there.
Okay.
One, it's the best view. Two, and by the way, I was actually in a movie theater where a guy got shot by cops right outside while me and a girlfriend were in
Oh,
the movie.
wow.
Oh yeah, that was.
I bet
we
that was
didn't even
crazy.
we didn't even hear it happen. All we saw was like
I'll see you next
Mhm.
the
time.
stewards running down the fucking thing, locking the exits.
Right.
All right, what's the room code?
I'm just gonna turn that off for now, and we can try this other one that is similar to that called Riff Tracks, I think it is.
Can I do the same thing I just did?
Yes, you're gonna be doing something very similar to that.
Oh, Rift Track, the game.
Yep. Let me give you the room code for that one once I get that one set up,
All right.
and I will be right back.
Welcome to Riff Tracks, the game where you make movies funny.
Alrighty, Denny. Let me set that up. Choo-choo-choo.
Oh God, that's gorgeous.
Um.
I don't know the difference.
Okay, so it's very similar. Okay.
No, I meant I didn't know the difference between the two. That's
Yeah,
all.
there's a
Nothing
lot of
more.
different ones.
Oh shit! I recognize this stuff. Oh, that's old school.
I know, right?
That's some old school shit right there, man.
Yep.
All right, gather your
That's
friends
DOS
and
level, baby.
enter your room code.
All right.
Riff
Alpha
track.
Papa Golf. All right. Alpha Papa Golf Delta. Do I have to go somewhere else?
Yes. So you're gonna go to RIFFTRA.
Yeah. I'm copying it right now.
Yeah.
AVP. Yeah, just give me a second.
That's fine. It's giving me a chance to set it up too. GD.
Okay, yeah, this is more your real house than mine.
That's fine.
And
That is totally fine.
Alpha Papa Golf Delta.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there
Okay.
we go. Oh yeah, no, I just give me a heads up next time, and so I can be on the right website. That's all.
That's totally fine. Alrighty. So I will start the game.
Time to shack it off tonight. Oh,
Each round,
God, that sounded so bad.
will play. Every clip has a spot to write your own joke, or riff as we call it. You'll be assigned 6 random riffs, and you'll need to pick which one of your riffs is the funniest one. Don't like any of your riffs? Once per game, you can swap them out for a new set. After you make your selection, everyone's riffs are played back, and you vote for your favorite. At the end of all the rounds, the player with the most points wins.
Okay.
Round 1.
Every year, when the first snow falls, the kids on our block build a snowman. Every year, when the first snow falls, the kids on our block build a snowman.
Okay. Take a deep breath and enter your riff.
Kind of like the other one.
Yeah, similar.
Every year, when the first
The
snow
other one
I
being
like
exactly
the
like
other
that.
one because we had to make our own stuff up.
Right. There's 2 ways to do it. You can write your own, and this one you get to vote on them.
falls, the kids on our block build a snowman. I smell onion rings. Every year, when the first snow falls, the kids on our block build a snowman. Somehow, this makes them thousands of dollars. Their business model is unknown.
The riffs are in. Time to vote. Well, look at you. I bet you had a good one.
Is it really a fair fight?
I know.
So when do I become the incredible Hulk in person?
Oh God!
So when do I become the incredible Hulk in person?
Are you the next top riffer? Enter your riff.
These are terrible.
Incredible Hulk in person.
Weird.
Okay, how about we don't do that and you simply die instead?
So when do I become the incredible Hulk in person?
Me, when I was introduced to Tommy Wiseau.
Oh, yes, I remember that one. The Room. Oh, that movie sucks.
Hulk in person.
Mostly to get back at the thing. Bastard broke my heart.
Time to place your vote, fellow ripper.
Good God! These riffs are terrible. I know we're more original than this.
Right? Because some of these are.
Oh,
Ooh.
these are cringeworthy. I mean,
I know. That's what they. Some of these choices they have.
I know that's what I liked about the last game. Everything was original. We had to
That's why
make
I
up our own.
decided to switch it up a little bit, but they have one where you can write your own. But this one is like I decided to try it out, see what it's like with this one. But it's terrible too.
Oh, I could have so much fun with this one. Oh, yeah, right. I got the Asian guy, the white guy. God damn.
Oh, what happened to my?
God damn, it's still the same shit.
I know
You're
it's
killing
awful.
me. You're killing me. I don't
I
even
know. I
care.
think it froze on my side. I don't know why it did that.
I like the last game where we were actually making this shit up because we are
Right.
way better than this.
I know. It's like, ugh.
This is like
There's choices
this
that
is like
just suck
shit
me
on
honestly.
current Saturday Night Live.
I know, right? Because Saturday Night Live used to be really good, or Mad TV.
In living color, you can do what you want to do in living color.
You know
Yes,
what? I'm gonna
folks,
probably just close
Jennifer
this game right
Lopez
now
got
and
us started
restart
as
it
a fly girl, baby.
if it'll let me do. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do that now because this one just sucks. It froze on my side.
You're fine. Trust me, that was painful. It was like I'm looking at these riffs and I'm like,
That's not funny,
this
right?
is bullshit.
I know. They keep giving you the same choices. Like
I
what?
know they give you the same choices, and you're looking at like,
How is that
just give me
funny?
the same amount of time. I'll write better dialogue.
Right?
It's like, what does Gen Z need scripts on how to insult? Take a Gen X class. We'll fucking teach you. Take
I
a
mean, I actually know
millennial.
some original ones myself. I mean, they had
Wait a
some. They
minute.
had
Wait a
some
minute.
original insults when
Alicia,
we were growing up.
What year were you born?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what year were you born?
85.
See, you're right there. That's why I like you. You know why? You're you're in that zillennial, or what I call Gen XC.
Right.
You're not really a millennial. I don't like zillennial. I like Gen XC. I like that
Right.
because it's like you're Gen X cousins. Because you're more like us. You know, actually, if you saw what I was putting on TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, I've actually been doing pretty well on there.
That's good.
Oh, I've been having a lot of fun with it too.
That's
And
good.
one of the things I've been doing is a lot of Gen X stuff. And there was one funny one where a woman was there. There was this young guy, and he's like, "Who let Gen X out off the hook? Why did they get a pass?" And then I saw her video, and then I stitched to it, and I told the guy, and I watched it, and I was like, I watched so many Gen Xers saying, "Why do we get a pass?" And somebody said, you know, I remember this one. One Gen Z said, "Who gave Gen X a pass?" And it was like, yo, millennial here. We gave them a pass. Listen,
Right.
I was raised by them. Don't fuck with them.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But
Yep.
you were raised right around the same. You were raised right around the same time frame as I was.
Yes.
The only
I
difference is I was going. See, the reason why I say 85 is because that was the first year I went to school.
Okay.
So once I went to school, that's when I'm like, and I think that's where a lot of people we kind of. I don't know why I say that, but a lot of people, even older than me, they're like, you have that 80 to Some people say Gen X stopped at 79.
Mhm.
I'm on the camp that it stopped at 80. And then there's that 81 to 85, which is, millennial, but not really millennial.
Right. Exactly. We're in that little sweet because of my age, I'm like right in between a couple of because people think, "Oh, you were." I'm like, "No, I was born in '85, right in between, just as the '80s was in the middle of it, just wrapping up." But I still remember certain things from the '80s too.
Yeah, but you see, that's the thing. The reason why we're willing to grandfather all of you in, you experienced a lot of the same stuff we did. And there was this one video. I'll have to find it and share it with you on TikTok because it
Okay,
was like, who let Gen X on the? It was like because we went through the most technological fucking insanity you will ever see.
that's
And he
true.
goes through every technological, he goes through so many technological changes we've gone through. And I'm 43 years old.
Right. Exactly. And I've gone through quite a bit, and I'm 38 now. So yeah, I went through the dial-ups. I went through the computers. I didn't even have internet at first. So yeah, I mean, I've been through it all. I mean, it's like it's crazy.
Yeah, the only things you kind of missed was the VHS Betamax wars.
I remember that a little bit. I do remember.
Equated to, okay, remember the Blu-ray HD DVD thing going on?
I do remember that. Yes.
Okay, just basically take it as the same thing. That's why so many of
Right.
us.
Because I think the
That's why
Betamax
so
were
many.
a little bit heavier, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but that's why a lot of us did not bother, and we were just waiting to see who was going to win the market in that war
Right.
because we were like, we remembered that war, and it was kind of like, yeah, we're not getting into that. We're just going to wait
Mhm.
and see who wins this. And once Sony went with PlayStation, we all knew the writing was on the wall.
Right, exactly. Some things you could tell, like, because I remember a little bit that there was a little bit of the war between the CD and the cassette tapes too, because there was a big feud over that too, which one was gonna last longer, and neither one of them's now that well known that often. I mean, sure, there's some people that still know cassettes, but I still remember that very, very well. They say, "Oh, do you want cassette or CD?" You would buy something.
Yeah, the reason for that, well, you got to remember the reason for that was what did a lot of us have as teenagers and young kids? Walkmans.
Right, or the boom boxes.
Yeah, or the boombox. Well, they didn't have at the time right away boombox DVDs, but remember, you used to have those DVDs, portable DVDs,
Right,
but what is the problem with the DVD? It skipped. And what was the advertisement we got later was, there was this one advertisement I remember of this portable DVD player and they drop a chicken on it and it doesn't skip. It's like saying,
right.
yeah, because they were competing with cassette. That's why cassette tapes were, and then MP3s eventually get. And
Mhm.
here's the thing: I think I've told you this story. I remember watching this show on Discovery called Beyond 2000, and they were talking about we're going to be able to put 100 songs on this microchip, and
Right.
I'm like, well, how the fuck is that going to matter?
Right,
How are
like,
you
it's
going to
like, that's
play that thing? I
unthinkable.
mean,
Mhm.
I couldn't grasp the idea at the time of downloading music, downloading video. This was before, the internet was here, but it was dial up. If few years later, DSL, if you could afford it. But
Right.
the idea of downloading hundreds of songs,
That was unthinkable. You couldn't think of that, no way, or even something that was beyond a gigabyte. Like, what the heck is a gigabyte? You couldn't even think of it.
well, actually, back in the 80s, we couldn't even think of a gigabyte.
No, or a megabyte. You couldn't think of any of that. a terrible. And now
Yeah,
we have,
everything was megabytes, but going over, getting to a gigabyte was almost the idea was unheard of. And then you got,
now you got terabytes, and like people are like, oh, why do I buy terabytes?
now you got this thing, which is more powerful and has more functions than the computer I first tried
That's
in
true.
1985. It's
Yeah,
just
I know, 'cause I remember the early flip phones, and they couldn't take pictures. They really you couldn't put in pictures on the early ones, really. If they were, the quality sucked. The sound was suck.
oh, I've looked at some of my early videos of our androids with our son and taking videos with that, and
Mhm.
the audio is just terrible.
Right. It's ridiculous the way things have changed since then.
All right, so we're gonna play.
I was gonna wrap up for a little bit.
All right.
I'm gonna end the stream here, but we can keep on talking. I'm gonna stop the stream here. Okay, thanks everybody that tuned in.